Hello, welcome back to the TLD podcast. This is episode 3.
Hey! My name is Tom.
I'm Etana.
I'm Ian.
Welcome back.
Yeah!
So today, the topic I want to introduce is something to do about the things that we noticed when we first came to this country. So
That's heat. I like that.
yeah, so I think the first answers people usually think about is, Japan's so clean, the combined
Typical.
food is sick.
True.
Which
It is though.
It's not
It
wrong.
is.
It's not
It
wrong,
is.
but since I moved here, I think I found some answers that I found based on my experience, and I just wanted to share those. So the first thing I noticed is the geek culture in this country is so strong. So I love how into things people are in this country. I love how people are so into their hobbies and they just wear it with pride. So
True.
like they've got like their merch on, they've got keychains, and it's just like they're just so into it. And I think that's just the majority of people in Japan. They just are really into whatever they're into, and I think Japan really caters to that kind of audience. So it's really liberating, especially I feel like coming from where I come from, I still don't think it's as acceptable for nerds to be a thing yet. I think recently the spread of anime from Japan in the Western world is pretty prevalent now,
Huge.
which is nice to see. So
Huge.
it's becoming more mainstream.
Yeah.
But I think it's still got a ways to go compared to Japan anyway. So yeah, that's what I thought. Does anyone else have anything that surprised them?
Well, just to add on to that, I do think it is really refreshing how unapologetic people are. Like you said, like they just wear it on their sleeve, like quite literally, all the keychains and the merch and everything. I find like as someone who used to be a theater kid or someone who used to have a lot of really niche interests, it's kind of, for lack of a better term, it almost brings back the whimsy in life.
True.
Yeah.
We need that. We need whimsy,
Yeah.
right? That's your favorite thing. You always say that.
Yeah,
Preach that.
We
Yeah,
definitely
preach
need more whimsy in life, and I think that in Japan, a lot of people embrace that, regardless of gender, regardless of age. People have fairly niche interests, and because they're so unapologetic and open about it, the companies, I guess, know that there is a market for it. So it's a cycle of, I guess, like supply and demand. To put it into business terms, I suppose. I mean, of course, that does open up conversations on like consumerism and capitalism, but from the perspective of someone who just simply wants to enjoy a fandom, I think Japan's a great place for that.
I think one of the things that surprised me most about Japan is that it's great. No, because I want to add to what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
But then, at the same time, my thing is it's a bit different. Yeah, so one of the things that surprised me about Japan is that, even as someone that can speak Japanese fluently, oftentimes people would still, and specifically Japanese people, would still try to interact with me in broken English. I know for a fact that they know how to speak Japanese, obviously. And I know for a fact that my Japanese is good enough for them to speak Japanese to me, but for whatever reason, they always some people always tend to try to reply in broken English, or they don't treat me as Japanese. And so when I first experienced that, it was a very weird experience. And shout out to Hannah Bookman, because she was here in Tokyo a while back, and she was there with me when she experienced this. Was one time we went to a supermarket and I was asking the questions in Japanese. And the store person knew what was being said, but she kept on looking at Hannah for the replies instead of me, even though I was the one asking the question. So that was something that surprised me, especially in a global city like Tokyo.
Yes.
Because you would think that in such a global city, those sort of stereotypes or those sort of, I don't know, biases, I guess, don't really happen, especially if you can speak the language fluently, right?
Sure.
Because I am fluent. But it was kind of a surprise that was still so prevalent. And so kind of feeling like I was still an outsider in a way.
Right.
Kind of that they were treating me as a foreigner, even though I was speaking their language, was really, really eye-opening, for sure. Really shocking, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that too. Whenever we would hang out together,
Yeah.
they'd always look at me, or if it was just Tom as well, you look at us. instructing us to answer, even though you're the only one out of the three of us who's actually fluent.
Yeah. And sometimes they give the quizzical look. I remember that one time we were all hanging out and I spoke Japanese and then the store person gave a quizzical look, just like, wait, what? You're the one who speaks Japanese? So
yeah,
yes,
like the standing emoji. Tom and I were just standing there like, thank you.
yes. So there is still that idea of what Asian looks like, right?
Yes.
I think it has gotten better, I will say. When I first got here in 2018, it was much more prevalent. It has gotten better, but nonetheless, it's still, I've still had experiences as of late where I've experienced that. So I think that if you look Asian, or in their eyes you look Asian, they assume you speak Japanese,
right.
or if they don't assume you speak Japanese, they might even kind of give you the why don't you speak Japanese, even though you're not even nationality-wise Japanese. So that's something that was very interesting to me. That was kind of eye-opening and shocking.
Like this, definitely nice that it's gotten better over the years, but still disappointing that this is still happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it sounds exhausting.
It does, and I think that's the thing that people don't realize is that I think in this day and age, Japan, Tokyo is so fetishized and everything. Everyone's just like, oh my god, it's so great. But for the people that actually live here, or the people that actually are going to be here in a more long-term sense, who kind of want to get ingrained in the culture, these are the sort of things that are happening behind the scenes, I would say.
Right.
And I think that if you really want to consider coming to Japan, of course, Japan is great in all its ways, but also it's best to also consider the shortcomings of Japan, especially if you're traveling. So,
like any country, right?
Like any country, exactly. Like any country, very key. Yeah.
I guess on the flip side too, back to the whole assumptions topic that we covered last episode. Just a little bit. I do think that looking, I guess, Asian, or East Asian, and at least in my case, I know I've always been told I look ambiguously Asian. Like Vietnamese people can't guess that I'm Vietnamese, for instance, and they think that I'm Chinese, but then Chinese people don't think I'm Chinese, they think I'm Japanese. I don't know, it's interesting. I do think that also sets an expectation where if I'm out at a store and someone's asking me something, they're going to ask it in Japanese. And they always look very confused when I'm completely lost.
Yeah.
And also the expectation too, where like knowing that people, like random people, think that I am one of them, that expectation that like I have to kind of stick to their beauty standards. Like for instance, like I guess before moving here, I didn't really care much about like body hair, whatever. Like, oh, I forgot to shave my leg, like whatever, you know what I mean? But then coming here, it's like, oh, like everyone here has their arms shaved.
Yeah.
And usually I don't think I would care. I never really cared about it before. But then now it's like, oh, because they think that I'm Japanese, I'm one of them, I feel the need to assimilate into those standards.
Because you live here now, right?
That's interesting, actually.
Now you feel like, okay, now everyone's kind of looking at me because I'm the odd one out. Because of that.
Yeah,
and it's not a nice feeling.
Yeah, no, it is kind of weird.
Side,
Like, I think being in Tokyo is very different from being like probably like a smaller town in Japan, because like in any big city there's going to be that anonymity, there's going to be that sense of freedom to be who you are, and people aren't really actually going to look at you that closely to care. But at the end of the day, like there's still that pressure. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much my experience as well. So one thing I started doing more consciously, and I've been more self-conscious about, is the fashion.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so, if I could choose to, I'd rock just a t-shirt, shorts, just like trainers, because that's what I could do back home and no one would bat an eye. But because I'm in Japan now, in Tokyo, everyone has got such a strong fashion game.
Bro,
I just feel like I'm definitely the odd one out. Again, like I was saying, obviously I look Asian. I could pass for Japanese, but like the fit just isn't there. So everyone knows.
Everyone's giving the looks.
Everyone knows. They're like, this guy is not Japanese, is he? So because of that, there's like this pressure where I feel like I have to fit in. And one way of achieving that, I think, is the fashion. So I've been going to Uniqlo, Uniqlo fit.
Yeah. Hey, we with Uniqlo, yeah. With Uniqlo, yeah.
Classic Japanese look, get the Uniqlo shirts. one thing I noticed as well about fashion in Japan is no matter what the weather is, how hot it is, people still got that on. It's people still got it on.
Yep.
So what I mean by that is they've got layers, okay, and they look like even when it's like this hot, like today it's like 35 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And these guys have still got shirts, they've still got hoodies,
Yeah.
they've got layers,
Yeah.
and I noticed the layers, they make a big difference in terms of your look. If I wanted maximum comfort and I just wanted to be relaxed as possible and not care about the fashion, t-shirt and shorts, but now in Tokyo, I'll always have like a shirt layer or something that'll just make me look like more Japanese. Just so I can fit in. Even if it means I'm sweating more, even if it means I'm more uncomfortable, as long as the fit is good, as long as the fit is strong, and I look Japanese, then I feel like there's less pressure, there's less eyes on me. But yeah, that's what I noticed. I've just kind of pushed myself to fit in because I've now moved to this country.
That's so interesting.
It is really interesting. I'm actually really interested to hear that perspective.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
As someone who really loves fashion, I actually felt less pressure living here in a sense, where like Ottawa, where I'm from, is a very government town where no one ever experiments with anything, like literally anything. So coming to a big city like Tokyo, where, like I said before, there's that anonymity, it's so nice to just be able to experiment and to wear what I want to wear, knowing that because we live in like a city with millions of other people, no one is really gonna care what you wear.
That's a good point.
That's a very good
that's
point.
a very good point.
Good observation.
Like if I mess up an outfit, if I have an outfit malfunction, like whatever, you know what I mean? It's not ideal, but like, and it happens to the best of us. But it's like people aren't gonna care. It's like everyone is doing their own thing, and in the grand scheme of things, I don't know that many people here, so there's not a pressure of I'm gonna run into someone, Yeah, so I find that really interesting that you mentioned that. But I do understand too that like because the idea of I guess like these standards of dress here are so much higher, and they're also quite a bit more. A lot of people are a little bit more conservative, I would say, I dress, than other parts of the world.
Yeah, for sure.
There is that like pressure to be like, oh, am I doing something wrong? Am I allowed to wear this?
Yep, it's there. It's always there.
But I think again, because we're lucky enough to live in a city as big as Tokyo, where there's so many tourists, it's really hot, everyone knows it. There are a lot of people here who think a lot more progressively now. Even though they say don't wear tank tops in Japan, I wear them anyway, but not obviously in like at a shrine or anywhere where you have to show respect. Obviously not. But if I'm just doing errands, like I'm not flashing anybody, It's fine. But I do understand where you're coming from though.
Yeah.
There's already that pressure to look the part.
Yes.
And dressing the part is obviously a part of looking the part. So I do get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy, especially when everyone looks so cool in this city. So I already feel like even though I'm kind of halfway there with the unique look clothes, like, there's so many things that make them so unique. The fashion, there's so much diversity in the fashion, So there's always more for me to feel like, oh, I need to fit in a bit more, like maybe go into this kind of fashion. More for me to explore. So, but at the same time, it's fun because I've never seen so much diversity in the fashion and how interesting, how experimental they can get. Yeah, so it's fun. Also, as someone who's kind of into fashion too, I quite like looking at the fashion game of Tokyo. It's definitely up there. I think probably the most fashionable city I think I've been to.
Without a doubt.
I would say.
Without a doubt. And I've been to New York as well, but I'm sorry, New York, but y'all don't got it. Y'all don't got it like Tokyo
not
does.
compared.
Y'all don't got it. Like y'all got it, but y'all don't got it like Tokyo got it because it's another level over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But if this helps at all with that pressure that you're feeling in terms of dressing and and finding a personal style, so remember that everyone that you see who has a very distinct style has spent years figuring themselves out. and figuring out what they like, what they don't like. Some people's also just a costume, right? They have different styles, so one day they might dress one way, another day they might dress another way. You won't know that unless you know them personally. So everyone's kind of figuring out at their own pace. Even once you think you've got your personal style, as you change as a person, your style will also change.
True.
So it's a lifelong journey, and there's no need to to rush it.
That's true. Yeah. I think another thing as well is related to that is the self-expression as well of people of Tokyo, and they do it through fashion.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can dive into that myself and learn the tricks of the trade of how people do that. It's still a lot for me to learn, but it's fun. It's fun either way to get into. Yeah, it's fun to see it. Yeah, in
It's
Tokyo.
supposed to be fun.
Yeah, fashion's fun.
Process. All about the process.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of talking about how people treat you based on how you look, because I look like this, I don't look Asian, I don't look Japanese. A lot of people don't take me as that, and even if I speak Japanese to them, or sometimes when I do speak Japanese to them, they get a little, I guess not flustered per se, but they get a little. Is embarrassed the word? I don't know what the word is, but they get a little shy, and they kind of they kind of shy away from me. So let me give you an example. So when I first came to Tokyo, back in 2018, I'm trying to get my lay of the land, right? And at the time, obviously, I just graduated university, and I love going out and meeting people, partying, whatever. And so my first year when I came to Tokyo, I was out and about almost every weekend. And most of the times I was out in the clubs, and so the clubs at Roppongi, Shibuya, the usual suspects, and me and my boy would always have a good time. But one of the things I realized very early on was that the experiences I was having with trying to build relationships in the club were very, very unique. So let me give you an example. Say we're in the club, good vibes, great music, I'm chilling, and me and my boy are just I see some pretty girls, whatever it is, for example, and we go chat to them, right? The way that I chat to them is obviously it's in English initially, and then they're just but then there are so many times where I would mention that I was Japanese and I would start speaking Japanese, and within a second their look completely changed. And so instantly they're just wait, this guy is kind of Japanese, and then they would just leave the conversation, right? And I'm just thinking, okay, that's kind of weird, but it can't be everyone, right? It can't be every single person, right? But literally that same exact thing happened 5, 6, 7 more times after, and then I started to really delve into it. I'm just wait, okay, this is not a me situation. This has to be way deeper than that. And when I thought about it, I think that it was because a lot of people that do go to those clubs, both men and women, when they want to interact in English, or they want to see someone, or they see someone that is not Japanese looking, they want to speak English. They want to practice their English because they don't really have the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
So I think for that reason, one, they expect me to speak English and they wanted to interact. But two, I think that when it comes to the romance aspect, a lot of the girls that I was talking to, they wanted a specific type of foreigner. And I wasn't that because I was too Japanese for them. And I think that is very interesting because that kind of shows that they were trying to put me in a box that I didn't want to be in. And when I kind of, informed them that in the way that I spoke Japanese to them, or told them, hey, I'm actually part Japanese, the fact that they kind of shied away or they wanted to escape the conversation spoke volumes.
That's
very
kind
unique.
of predatory.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's
it is.
kind of
It's fetishizing, it's predatory, it's a lot of
sure.
things, but I think that what they wanted was, oh, he's black, he's tall, he's relatively good looking. I've seen, I'm not really into Japanese guys. Let me try to chat to him and see what the vibe is. But I wasn't in that box, right? So it was a very, very unique experience in that sense because it happened numerous times. And I've talked to other people, that are black in Japan, and they've gone through the same exact thing. And so it kind of shed light as to, whether you're Japanese or not. In this particular case, I am Japanese, and I told them I am Japanese, but they would just shy away, right? So I think because Japan is so homogenous, for them experiencing or wanting to get to know someone is not the same kind of balance or alignment as to the way that I want to experience someone. Because I am very open-minded in the sense that I've experienced many sort of genders, races, but they're not. And so I think that limitation kind of plays into situations like this, which I find to be very, very interesting.
I see.
Yeah, kind of crazy though.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
I mean, yeah, I guess I do see what you mean. I can't relate exactly to your situation, but I do see that in the dating world here, I'm constantly worried, like, oh, like, am I their type? It's because I'm not like a typical like quiet type of person. I'm pretty outspoken. I'm like, oh, do people here like that? Do they not like that? Like, what's like not the overall consensus? Everyone has their type, right? But that whole thing was like, is someone interested in me just because like I'm more open-minded, because I'm a foreigner, because I'm new here? Like, what's the situation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that plays much of a bigger role here because the country is so homogenous. Almost everyone looks Japanese or Asian. So I think amid that, if you don't fit into that box, people are already, inquisitively looking at you, just like, I wonder what her vibe is. But then if you don't fit that box with your personality as well, it's a double, right? So yeah, it's very interesting in that sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
I do notice a lot of people that we've interacted with who are not Japanese and who do not look Japanese. Going to finding the partners here, a lot of them don't end up dating someone who is Japanese. They end up dating someone who, I guess, was in a similar situation where they came here from another country. They themselves don't look like East Asian, which I find really interesting.
Yeah, also interesting point. So.
Yeah, another thing I noticed too, since moving here, was how anti-confrontational everyone is. Like, there's been times when I've accidentally put in line at 7-Eleven and didn't realize till after I already paid because no one said anything. And I was so like embarrassed. But I was like, guys, like, please just confront me. I'd rather you like swear at me or something. But I don't know, like, have you guys felt that like that you kind of feel like you have to also be non-confrontational?
I mean, I have an example from today.
Today?
I
You
can.
spent the day together though, what?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually with me and Etana. So we went to a coffee shop today and we're just doing like a little co-working session, We were putting our coffee away.
Oh yes, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was, we just, like she was saying, we just don't want to be confrontational. And so I think that combined with our weak skills of Japanese right now, of the Japanese language, is that we didn't know where to put the ice from the coffee.
Oh.
And so it said like, okay, the plastic's go here, the paper goes here, the cups go here. Yeah. But not the ice.
Oh.
So I was like, so where do we put the ice?
Yeah, we put the ice, yeah.
What is ice in Japanese? Like,
Right?
what?
How do you say ice in Japanese, first of all?
Boy.
So we just thought, what's a very non-confrontational way of doing this? And the idea we came up with was we just put it in our mouths and we just started crunching it and eating it. Anything so that we would not have to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we like threw away the cups. We waddled out of there with ice in our mouths, like chipmunks.
Dude, you guys are something else. That's funny. That's funny as hell.
Right? And it's all because like we just didn't want to make a fuss, just because like it's not in the way of the culture that we know about Japan, And again, it just relates to how we want to just fit in with Japanese people.
I do respect that, right?
Right?
Yeah.
It's that. Like,
so what should we have done?
Well, I think one, ice in Japanese is kori.
Oh yes, okay, kori.
And two, if there isn't specifically a place where you can dump your ice, you can just dump it with the cups.
But it said no ice.
Oh, it said no ice?
With the plastics.
Okay, I missed that part.
No
I missed that part. Then I'm sure there had to been ice section or whatever's left in your cup. Please toss here. Like
we didn't see anything though.
100% there has to be. Otherwise, there's no
definitely.
way.
Yeah,
there's
sure.
no way.
I think we just panicked.
I mean,
You could just
understandably,
One of
yeah,
those
understandably,
moments, man.
understandably.
yeah.
But you know,
Yes.
I do respect the fact that you guys are both individuals that respect and want to assimilate with the culture in that sense, right?
Sure.
Because I know a lot of people who wouldn't go through all of that to make sure that the ice is not thrown away in the wrong section, right? They just toss it.
Yeah.
And so I think that, especially with the influx of tourists and different mindsets and different cultured people coming to Japan, I think a lot of people expect Japan to assimilate to where they're from, or to what they like, what they're used to in their own parent country. And I think that is one, the worst mentality you can have, but two, it takes advantage of Japanese culture, of the service that they provide, right? Taking into consideration the service that they provide, those sort of individuals are taking advantage of the fact that Japan is nice and they won't be confrontational. And so they take advantage of that, and that's not okay. That's not right. But ironically, no one's gonna say that, right? The Japanese people in the South won't say it, but they'll think it, or they'll try to kind of convey it in the best way they can, but they won't outright say it directly. So I've been seeing a lot of that happening as well. People taking advantage of that, right? So it's not, it's not a good thing, but also it is a good thing. It's kind of hard to find a balance with that.
Yeah, I think it's the reality of the culture and of the situation. I definitely notice a lot of people treating Japan like a utopia, like a theme park in and of itself. And one, I think that's really, really weird because it's a country just like any other.
Yes.
And two, it kind of also feeds into the idea that people want a society that's orderly, that's clean, that's perfect, but they don't want to contribute to that society. It's like the people who expect a grocery cart to be level at the grocery store but wouldn't put back their own grocery cart when they're done using it, right? And I think, well, it shows a lack of respect, first of all, and second of all, would you act like that in your own country?
Exactly. Exactly.
And if you do, what are you doing?
Exactly.
That's so weird.
Exactly. It's only because it's Japan that people act this way. If it was any other country, they wouldn't even think about it, right? So, yeah.
So I remember, I think, like years ago, before I even thought about moving here, I saw a video about, it was just like one of the major train stations in Tokyo, and everyone was sticking to the left side of the stairs, and even though it was really busy and everyone was in a rush, no one was on the right side. And the comments were just so divided. It was either people being like, oh my god, this is why Japan is perfect, and just completely idolizing it and over glamorizing this like country just based on one video, and the other half were just so negative. Like, oh, they're a bunch of sheep. They can't think for themselves. Like, just because it's not your country doesn't mean you can treat it as if it's a place that doesn't actually exist, as if it's a place that people, like real people, don't live in. Because at the end of the day, we're all people, right? Regardless of which country we're from and what society we live in. Yeah, the whole topic of dating in Japan deserves like a whole episode of itself.
It's madness.
It's insane. And I think that we all kind of bring our own perspectives to it, and because of that, that's like a whole other episode.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think for
Future
tonight,
episode.
I think for tonight, I think we should go to bed.
Yes, I know tonight's episode was, perhaps a bit more on the serious side, but again, as a reminder, these are the sort of conversations that we want to have. It's not always going to be lighthearted, and we want to get down into cultural differences and how that plays an impact in our lives living in Tokyo. So we appreciate you and your guys' patience with how serious the matter is. But yeah, more episodes to come, and we're excited. Thank you guys so much.